What's up, gang? So the Sega Turbo is all mine now. The customer that brought it in, it kind of got out of hand, I would say, as far as what the repair is going to be. I thought I could probably get it going for, 100 and a half or so. Just get it in, do some adjustments, and tinker with it. So I've owned, let's see, the cockpit, two full size. This would be my first Cabaret, but I've never really had to do anything to them other than, just kind of tinker with them. But the guy bought it for, I think, $100 and maybe wanted to put 100 and a half into it. It was going to be probably 2.5, 3 minimum as it stands. So he just let me have it instead for the labor that I put into it. And this happens whenever you work on games like this. It just costs too much money to get going. I wouldn't say too much money, just more money than the customer wants to spend. So what I want to do is kind of like in the, I don't even know how to say this, kind of like a John's Arcade style video series. Every weekend I want to do something to this, and I want to get it fully going. I wouldn't say restoration. I just want to really make it nice looking. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing a bunch of woodwork and stuff like that, but I do want to clean it up really good, maybe repaint where I need to, address the side art as far as the cabinet stuff. There's some spot where the laminate's coming off the wood at the bottom. I want to glue that back in, maybe kind of, I did save the piece that fell off, try to put that back on. But in this video, I want to just make it look better because it just looks gross. All of this, all over here, maybe clean the steering wheel up, pull off some of these pieces for some black paint. Let's just see if we can make it look a little bit better within a few hours. And then if we have time at the end of the video, I want to pull the audio amp out of the bottom because that's going to be the major thing that needs to be addressed. It was, bypassed for a switcher, and somehow I think wiring is still wired somehow that I didn't see, and it's causing major problems whenever I hook up the board. I think we've had 2-3 fires in this thing, or almost fires. So I want to pull that too, and I'm definitely going to get that on video. So might be just a quick cleanup as far as the video, but it is going to take me some time. And then we'll pull that audio amp and just see how nasty that thing is. Stick around and let's get this started. Every weekend we're going to do something on it. And then if I don't fall in love with it, I'll have it for sale at Mo Game Con in August this year. So let's see.
I'm Walter Day, the father of esports, and you're watching Matty Mo's Arcade.
And you know how long it's been since I played Whac-A-Mole?
I'm getting ready to attack, fanny pack attached. Tokens are all stacked, got the mallet in my grasp. Waiting for the moles, hiding in their holes. Scoreboard keeping tally, I'll be playing till they close now. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. I'm a mallet master, a single-fisted blaster. You can ask my baby, it starts slow then gets faster. I'm a record setter.
I apologize. I know this shot isn't very nice to look at. All it is just this blank wall with this arcade game up against it. So, of course, this main thing that I want to deal with as far as looks is the dirt on the glass and this control panel. Basically, if I have anybody else come over in the shop, I don't want this thing to look like a freaking turd, and it does. So there's basically 2 clasps on the side. Let me see if you guys can see what I'm talking about here. There's 2 clasps on the side here, and then you just flip the levers, and then this should come out. And it was plugged into the board. I don't think it is at the moment. I think I have everything unhooked. Possibly not. I do not. I'm going to snag my jersey doing this. See, I feel it's got one of those little wires wrapped around to hold it up against the cabinet here. I had the wiring all buttoned up, looking good. I thought this thing was done. And where's this plug? Snag my jersey all up. Alright, so we will come back to this in a few. Set it on the workbench. And let's see if you can see it. This is all original barn find dirt. I haven't cleaned anything at all, so you can see all this stuff. I mean, this is actually not too bad. Both sides probably need it. So we'll get that cleaned up. Probably wash this monitor off, and get this thing in and out. And then I'll come back, we'll check the progress on that. Maybe start looking at some of this wiring that we can see. I don't really think you guys need to watch me Windex some plastic. And then also might take apart this up here and clean that up too. Set these speaker grills aside for some black paint. Touch those up, make them look a little better. Let's see if we can't make this thing a little presentable. Give it an hour or two of elbow grease, and then we'll pull that audio amp. Alright, stick around, be right back. I'm about halfway through the control panel. I decided to go ahead and sand the black paint off of the gauge on that side. You can see on this side kind of what it used to look like. So it's real nasty. I don't think it's rust, I think it's primer, because it's under the black paint too. But I think the chrome, I think that looks pretty sharp. And then I cleaned it and then put a little Armor All on it. Of course, I polished this steering wheel too. It needs some actual chrome polish. There's still some tiny scratches and stuff. But I'm going to continue on to this side over here, pop this gauge off, and sand all that junk off. And then I don't know if I can do anything to this. I can probably polish up down here. And eventually I want to take the black paint off of this and repaint the center cap there. But should just be another half hour or so. We'll open this up like this. And I guess at some point in time there used to be lights in those, so I'll have to rig something up like that. And this harness has been done a number on, so we'll deal with that another day. But I'm going to pull this one off and do this left side, and then I think move to the top portion of the game, pull that plastic off and clean it up. But it's starting to look pretty good. I like the way this gauge looks. That looks so much better than the black on black. I'm not sure why they did that. But give me a few seconds and we'll should have a complete control panel. I'm finally done sanding off the nasty paint and primer off of this gauge. I actually scratched this plastic a little bit. I did not on this one, but the bezel and everything else has, all the other plastics has scratches all over it anyway. So in one of these videos we'll address that, and I'll show you how to use the plastic polish to get rid of scratches, which is pretty easy. So I've cleaned this off. The right side, of course, looks better than the left side because the right side has Armor All. Just for the video, I grabbed this at the gas station. It's Extreme Tire Shine, and it's Armor All. This is just to give it the look. I want you guys to see what I want it to look like at the end. What I'm gonna use is Armor All makes it too, I believe, is a black plastic rejuvenator, which is basically like lotion for your plastic. So you want to use it a few times, a few applications before it's actually going to bring the plastic back, and it should look like that all the time, and it won't have a greasy feeling, which actually this doesn't either. So I'm happy about that. I thought with it being for tires, it would be a little greasy. But the black plastic rejuvenator, it's been a few years since I used it, but it was in between $10 and $20 when I had the detail shop, and back then we didn't fact check everything, but as we were led to believe, the chemical actually permeates the surface, and it actually will moisturize deeper than just on top, so that your plastic will naturally have its color back and be a little bit more pliable. But for right now, I'm just using this tire shine, and I want to go ahead and apply the tire shine where I'm going to use it before I put that gauge back on there, because I do not want to squirt and get it all over the plastic, and it's kind of messy. And a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. And it's not hard. As long as everything's clean ahead of time, then you're good to go. But you don't want to be running this through a bunch of dirt and spreading your dirt around, because then it's going to turn into a paste. And this should actually hold on there. And I'm not going to get the rejuvenator right away. That'll be a month or so from now. I want to get the game working, but I do want this to look pretty good. But I am going to do a few applications of this too, just because this stuff is so dry, this plastic, that it's not going to hurt at all to get a little bit of love, some love juice. I'm going to add just a little bit more to my dirty old napkin here. Still a little dry looking in here. And if you get too much on there, you just come over it with a dry towel or napkin and just wipe the excess off. And I'm going to add some of this too. This thing, it's not necessarily plastic or leather. I don't think it's some kind of weird material, but it could use some moisture itself. This thing has been mangled. Okay, so make sure we're still on frame. I haven't decided yet about this. I'm definitely going to repaint this, but I don't think I'm going to mess with it for now. I'll tape this off and sand that off, I think, and repaint it black. I was going to leave it chrome, but I like how the black chrome black. I don't like the way that breaks up. So I want to make sure that the gauge is the right way. And it's only going to fit the right way on here because of the way the bracket is. Alright. It's got this little rod that holds it in place, and that goes over that, and then you line up your screw holes, and the face should be right on the other side. Not in the hole. Okay, I moved it. My fat hands, my hat in the way. I have another mic on the way. I should get it tomorrow. It's a wireless mic. So sometimes, like at work, when I'm walking around, if I'm not facing the camera, can't hear what I say. So I'm going to try that in a video tomorrow. And I think that should solve our audio issues between the two mics. And then have these new lights, which I think I want to get a little brighter bulb for each one. But I have a bunch of light stands. So we should have a little bit better quality. Now my editing is just, it's whatever it's going to be. Sometimes I just do stuff to make myself laugh. Sometimes I do stuff just to see if I can do it. And sometimes there's no editing. Sometimes I just splice all the clips together and put it up there for you guys. Alright, I know you probably can't see anything from my arm. Okay, that. Oh. But I'm not bolted in. Duh. I did this earlier too. Same exact thing. That should be a little bit better. And it wasn't on here very tight. But it doesn't need to be. It's not really, not going to be moved or anything like that. Alright, let's see how that looks now. Let's get a little bit more juice to touch up my fingerprints. This is actually how I got involved into arcades, as I had a detail shop and I wanted to get a game for the waiting area. I had a snack machine, a soda machine, and I really wanted a coin pusher because I love playing them. But I got a game and the coin mechs didn't work, and I wasn't sure what else didn't work on it, but I figured if I took it apart and cleaned it really well like this, that it might come on. It might have been just dirty. But it worked. And I got bit by the bug and had to buy everything that moved after that. But I'd say it looks really, really good now. Much better than it did. We got chrome-ish gauges now instead of the rusty, dirty paint. The only thing I don't like is this, and I'd like to possibly sand this down and refinish it. I don't like the brown at the top, but I don't know. I don't know if that's something I can do or if that's going to be easier than I think it is. So, but next, let's see if we can. I don't have as good a light. Let's see if I can turn some light over here. Okay, so next I want to do this piece of plastic up here at the top, and it's got a bunch of electronics involved that are on the back of it. Oh, come on. Let's see here. I don't know that really helps any. Anyway, not really. Still see a big shadow. Anyway, there's, let's see. I don't know if that covers it. I think it might. So there's kind of like an L clip up here at the top that's got 3 bolts in it, and then we just have 4 screws holding on the plastic, I do believe, and the rest of this I think is holding on like the speakers here and the electronics here. But I want to pull that off next and clean it up, and then we'll put those 2 pieces back on and see if the game looks any better. It's got to look somewhat better. And then we will, I don't know if I'll do it on camera. I definitely won't do it on camera, but I'll wipe all this stuff down probably in between this video and the next video and get her looking real good. The side art is kind of like Survivor side art. I mean, it's there. This one's just got a piece curling at the top that I might be able to glue down and save that. On this side, it's not bad either, but it's missing the top where it's been peeled, and same thing. I might be able to save what's there I don't really want to replace it with it being this close. I haven't really decided about that yet. It's not like Sega Turbo is some super valuable game, and me chasing down some side art for 2 inches is going to really make it more valuable. I think either you like this game or you don't. I think it being in a cabaret version does help it, but anyway, I'm gabbing for no reason. Let me go ahead and see if I can't pull this off of here, see what's going on with it, and then we'll take a look and see what we need to do to get it apart and cleaned. I'll be right back. Sorry about the heat running in the background. Oh, kicked my bucket. So this top part up here is a little bit more difficult to get off than I thought. So we'll leave that for another day. This is a good stopping point. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I just wanted to get kind of something really nice cosmetically on the front of this thing, so that when I look at it, I kind of have more of a positive thought of it rather than ugh, because I know what it looks like on the inside and in the back. But it makes it a little bit easier to keep working on it if you see some improvement as you're going. And as I get the inside cleaned out and some new wiring going in, it'll start to look a lot better, and I'll have a better mental image of the project in a whole. But I appreciate you watching, and we'll get back to it next weekend. And I'm going to order some pins and Molex connectors, and I'm going to line up some wires. I want to go to the original color code that it was on everything instead of the random batch that it is, and pull out the audio amp, and I think it's a power supply and an audio amp, and figure out what kind of parts it needs and see if there's any kind of information on it. But thanks for watching. I really like the way this chrome looks on the black, much better than the black on black they had it. Alright, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5 volts. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too. Super hang on.
Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
What happened? Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.